Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Market Watch, episode 10. There's been a few things that happened last week that were semi-interesting, what with Binance, US getting ready to roll out and all of that, BNB getting listed as a token. There's a lot of other interesting things. I really wish I could report on those. Unfortunately, I literally have no time today as I have to actually go and leave my house, which I hate to do as I love being a NEET. But business dealings aside, I still wanted to make a short, quick update video. So this is going to be a quick one. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Bitcoin price. We're looking over here at $10,150. We've dropped down a little bit in the last few days. I think everyone's getting a little bit stir crazy with the low amount of volatility that we've been seeing. Obviously, it was really good. It was really nice tradings a while back whenever everything was bullish, and now it's chopped, so it's a lot less interesting, and it's a lot less interesting even more so as the volatility decreases. I think what most traders are looking at as far as this pattern is concerned, so I have drawn this little this meme triangle here, this Dorito. This is generally the pattern that everyone else is looking at. They're saying, oh, this is going to resolve around the time that Backed truly launches, which is going to be around the end of the month. So in about a week and a half, we will be seeing what effect Backed has on the Bitcoin price. Like I said before, I think we're probably going to be a short-term negative price, not price discovery, but price action. And then probably, I think, obviously in the mid to long term, much more bullish. But certainly in the short term, I definitely think in the short term it's going to be bearish. That said, most traders are looking at this as the triangle that when it resolves, it's going to go to the top or bottom. Now, I do have a little bit of a problem with triangles, and I'm going to try and illustrate that to you guys now. This is the problem I have with triangles, okay? So you can always take them, and then you can do this, right? And this is a perfectly valid triangle as well. Even if it goes through these wicks, you can go from here, and then you can go and say that this is now a valid triangle. So if Bitcoin goes and it does this whole move right here, all of a sudden it's just in a bigger triangle, right? So, and then you can always take this and say, well, let's see if we can do a triangle here. Yeah, you can do this. That's an interesting triangle, right? You can go from the bottom. So you can go from the top here. You guys see where I'm going with this, right? You can go from here, and now you have this triangle. So, okay, well, this is pretty. Now you have this whole action going on, and this triangle can go on forever. And then you can always go with this kind of triangle from the top here. And you can say it's like this. So this line's always flat. And then this thing, wherever you want to put it. You can even raise this thing, honestly, if you really felt like it. If you wanted to if you wanted to draw a completely mangled triangle, I suppose you could do something like this, right, with the wicks. And then you could say this is the true triangle. So then you go bop, 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 and then you die. So it's really hard to say. I think triangles in general are probably... I used to try and trade with them back when I traded, and the only reason I made any money was because we were in a bull market. I just really have this issue with triangles in general. They're just not very reliable. I've tried trading them before. They're not great. They're not useful. The thing that's generally more useful, and if you watch Crypto Cred's videos and if you listen to his Telegram, I don't know if he's updating it recently, but he does a lot of horizontal support and resistance. You talk to a lot of old-time traders. They use a lot of horizontal support and resistance. You talk to pretty much any trader worth his salt. They're using that horizontal support and resistance as far as TA is concerned. So for me, I don't really do too much TA, but if I'm going to be doing TA, if I'm looking for an entry, if I want to buy a certain asset and I want to have a particular point or price point that I want to buy it at, I'm probably doing some sort of horizontal support, horizontal resistance to try and figure out, okay, well, maybe this is the level I want to buy it at. So something like this would probably be a little bit more in line with my own buying and selling strategy. But I'm just telling this to you guys. So now you guys know you have the triangles, you have the horizontal support and resistance, or you can just buy in general and try and ignore all of the pattern madness and apophenia that affects many crypto traders. So that's what we have there. Not much else really to say about Bitcoin. Again, we've been consolidating for a long time. Volatility is pretty low, so it's pretty uneventful as far as the price is concerned. Nothing really that has been existentially interesting for Bitcoin in the past. We should probably get another country banning Bitcoin. Maybe that would be another bullish symbol or something to kickstart this market up, guys, because it's been pretty annoying, pretty boring. So I have my bags pretty much packed already. If we do drop down to the negative, to the downside after this back launch, then sure, I'm going to be looking to buy up whatever dips we get. But I'm generally a fan of the idea that the longer we consolidate above $10,000, the more bullish I tend to be, because it's a very good place to consolidate as far as I'm concerned. So there's a little bit more useful information as for Ethereum. There's a lot of other cool things going on with alts. I know other people are covering those generally on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter, you're probably hearing a lot of that. But Ethereum is interesting. I wanted to cover this just a little bit real quick before I went and closed the video for this week. But Ethereum's looking good, actually. It's looking really good. I was mentioning that I was thinking about buying it some time ago. Then I forgot to buy it. Then the week after that, I did finally buy it. And now I just recently sold it. So we're looking pretty damn good as far as the bottom is concerned. As far as finding and trying to find a bottom, there was some long-term support. If I can pull up the Polo chart, because we have to go back, guys. We got to go way back if we want to try and find this support here. We did hit this level right here. Horizontal support resistance works every time, boys. But we did hit this level here, which is pretty much right here. That line was respected. So if you're a TA trader, this was pretty much the last stand for ETH bulls. I think if that broke down, you're probably looking at something like over here, even 0.013, which I know a few people were looking at that price and they were saying that was their final target. So that may still actually be hit in the future. We'll see. The weekly's looking decent though. That remains to be seen. As far as the recent price action is concerned, again, it looks good. I just sold some recently because, well, it's good to sell. It's good to take profits when it's a bear market. Everyone knows the trend right now. Things are looking like a Zcash chart all across the board. So it doesn't really make too much sense for me to hold, or for most traders to be holding, at least in the short term. If you're a long-term guy, if you're interested in ETH 2.0, if you're interested in all of the gas that's being used on the ETH network right now, which is another interesting thing. I'll probably talk about the gas thing next week. Then Ethereum is definitely looking to be a pretty solid buy at the 0.019 level. So that's all I had for this week, guys. Apologies I couldn't cover some of the news. Next week, I have some ideas for what I want to do with MarketWatch. I'm not entirely sure. I think probably what I'm going to do is just include more news articles and things into it. I've seen other people do it, and it's something that I think is pretty interesting. Just kind of giving you guys the news so that you don't have to look it up yourself, and then giving my own spin on it as we read through the news. I think that's something that's somewhat interesting. I am working on a Blackstone special feature. We're working on another one. I know that was the most viewed video on this channel, I believe, so I'm working on a second one. I can't reveal the details as of yet on exactly what it is, and I can't exactly tell you when it's going to release, but it will be releasing. We'll try to get it done ASAP. I don't know, maybe next week, sometime after that. We'll see. But that's all I have until my next video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. This video was sponsored by Cryptowatch. Are you a crypto degen? Do you spend countless hours in front of your PC babysitting your leverage trades? Well, babysit no longer. With Cryptowatch, you can spend countless hours in the comforts of your own bed, waiting for those SMS alerts. Track how wrecked your portfolio is that week with their portfolio tracker. And you can also check the price of your favorite shitcoins. If you'd like to join Cryptowatch, there's a link in the description below. Happy trading!